Hello, my name is Ivan Fetch, and I'm a site reliability engineer with Fairwinds. I'd like to talk a bit about services in Kubernetes. This Kubernetes deployment manages 8 pods and sets the app label to the value my app. This is how a service will target which pods to expose in Kubernetes. This service manifest is of type LoadBalancer, and I've already deployed it to this Kubernetes cluster. There are 3 common types of services that each build on one another. First is type cluster IP, which is an IP address typically only accessible from within the Kubernetes cluster. Next is service type node port, which exposes a cluster IP using a port on Kubernetes nodes. Next is the load balancer service type, which creates a cloud load balancer to expose the node port services. When I run kubectl get services, there's only this single service named my app. It's a load balancer service that implicitly manages the cluster IP and node port components I just mentioned. If I describe this service by running kubectl describe service my app, let's look at a few things of interest in the output, starting at the bottom. We see endpoints, which lists a few IP addresses and ports of pods that this service has targeted using the app equals my app label. We also see the node port, which is the port on Kubernetes nodes that you can use to access the cluster IP service. Above that, we see load balancer ingress, which shows the host name of the cloud load balancer that Kubernetes provisioned. And just above that, we see an IP address ending in .77, which is the cluster IP address. I can use curl to access this load balancer host name, limiting that output to the server name returned by the pod. If I run this over and over, we can see each time we access the service, a different pod of the 8 available pods returns our request. Next, I'll exec into a pod running kubectl exec-it dnstools sh. If I look up the host name of this service, it returns the fully qualified myapp.demo.svc.cluster.local. In this case, demo represents the namespace in Kubernetes where the service was deployed. This IP address ending in .77 is the same cluster IP address we saw earlier. You can use cluster IP services like this to help applications or tiers of applications communicate with one another in Kubernetes. There's another Kubernetes object called ingress, which allows you to serve multiple applications behind a single load balancer and do things like virtual hosting. That's another topic for another video. Thanks for watching.